Everyone laughed when my wife called me pathetic, but nobody was laughing 10 minutes later. We were standing in the private dining room of the Marlowe, surrounded by 22 people from her company, including her boss, her friends, and my own brother. Lena had one hand wrapped around a wineglass and the other pointing at me like I was a stain on the carpet. "Look at him," she said, smiling. "This is what insecurity looks like." I remember the heat in my face, the silence before the laughter, and the phone in my pocket vibrating with the proof that would destroy her. Lena and I had been married for 5 years, together for 7. When we first met, she was finishing her marketing degree and working weekends at a boutique, while I was doing night shifts at a warehouse and studying accounting online. We were broke but happy in that embarrassing way couples are when they share instant noodles and call it dinner. One day, she used to say, "We'll laugh about this from a nice apartment." I believed her. So when she got her corporate job and I opened my small bookkeeping firm, I thought we had finally become the team we always promised to be. Things changed slowly, almost politely at first. Lena started correcting me in public. If I mispronounced a client's name, she smirked. If I ordered a cheaper meal, she joked, still thinking like a warehouse guy. I told myself she was stressed because her company had promoted her to senior brand manager. Her hours got longer, her phone became private, and her clothes got more expensive. One Tuesday, I noticed a $740 charge from a hotel restaurant downtown. When I asked, she barely looked up. "Client dinner," she said. "Please don't start acting weird again." The stakes got higher when we began saving for a house. I had transferred $28,000 into our joint savings over 18 months, while Lena promised she was doing the same from her bonuses. Every Sunday night, I made spreadsheets, paid bills, and packed lunches while she scrolled through her phone on the couch. "You're obsessed with money," she said once. "It's exhausting." But I wasn't obsessed. I was trying to build something stable. My father had died leaving debts, and I promised myself I would never let my family live one emergency away from collapse again. The first real clue came at 11:43 p.m. on a Thursday. Lena was in the shower when her phone lit up on the nightstand. The notification said, "Still thinking about tonight." The sender was saved as Maya Work. I knew Maya. She was Lena's assistant, a sweet woman who had once brought banana bread to our housewarming. The message didn't sound like her. When Lena came out, I asked, "Why is Maya texting you that late?" She snatched the phone and said, "Because some women actually have careers that require communication after 6 p.m. After that, the little details started lining up. Lena changed her phone password from our anniversary to something I didn't know. She began saying she had strategy sessions every Wednesday, though her company calendar showed no late meetings when I checked the shared laptop. She bought a navy dress for $390 and told me it was for a presentation, then came home smelling like expensive cologne, not perfume. One night, I asked, "Is there someone else?" She laughed without looking scared. "There it is," she said. "The insecure little husband finally says it out loud." I didn't hire a private investigator. I didn't follow her. I just watched the money. That was my job, after all. On March 8th, 2 withdrawals hit our joint savings, $5,000 and $7,500, both labeled as transfers to an account I didn't recognize. When I asked the bank, they confirmed Lena had authorized them through her login. My hands went cold. That money was supposed to be our down payment. When I confronted her that evening, she shrugged. "I moved it to a better investment account," she said. "You wouldn't understand the details." The breaking point came when my brother, Ryan, called me at work. He sounded nervous, which was rare for him. "Listen," he said, "Lena asked if I'd be at her promotion dinner Friday." I told him yes, obviously. Then he paused. "She also asked me not to mention that I saw her at the Grand Vale last week." My chest tightened. The Grand Vale was the same hotel as the restaurant charge. Who was she with? I asked. Ryan went quiet, then said, "A guy from her office. I think his name was Adrian." Friday night, I went to the dinner knowing I would probably leave without my marriage. The private room had gold lighting, white tablecloths, and a printed menu with Lena's name at the top. She looked stunning, and that hurt more than I expected. Adrian was there too, wearing a gray suit and acting like he didn't know me. Halfway through dessert, Lena made a toast. "To ambition," she said, raising her glass, "and to outgrowing people who want to keep you small." Her friends cheered. Then she looked directly at me and smiled. I asked her quietly, "Can we talk outside?" She rolled her eyes. "No, say it here. You love making scenes in private, so make one in public." My stomach dropped because I realized she had planned this. She wanted me to look unstable. "I know about Adrian," I said, keeping my voice steady. A few people gasped, but Lena laughed. "This is exactly what I mean," she said. "Everyone, my husband thinks any man who respects me must be sleeping with me." Adrian leaned back, smirking, and someone near the bar chuckled. Then Ryan stood up. "That's not what happened," he said. The room went quiet. Lena's face changed for half a second. My brother placed his phone on the table and played a recording from the hotel lobby. Her voice came through clearly. "Once the money clears, I'll tell him I need space. He's too pathetic to fight me." Adrian's voice answered. "And the savings?" Lena laughed. "Already moved. He tracks grocery coupons, not bank routing numbers." Nobody moved. My phone buzzed then, showing the bank's fraud confirmation email. The entire room turned toward her. Lena whispered, "You recorded me?" Ryan said, "You were saying that about my brother in public." Her boss, Monica, asked sharply, "Did company funds pay for any of those hotel meetings?" Adrian stood up so fast his chair scraped the floor. "This has nothing to do with work," he said. But Monica had already opened her laptop. I didn't shout. I didn't insult her. I simply said, "You stole from our savings and planned to frame me as controlling." Lena reached for my sleeve and murmured, "Please don't do this here." I pulled my arm away. The aftermath moved faster than the marriage ever had. By Monday, Lena was suspended pending an internal investigation because some client dinners had been billed through her corporate card. Adrian resigned before lunch. I filed a police report for the withdrawals and froze the remaining joint account. Lena sent me 17 texts that day. I panicked. "You embarrassed me. We can fix this." The strangest one came at 9:12 p.m. "You were never supposed to hear it like that." I stared at that message for a long time, because she still thought the problem was timing. Divorce was ugly, but clean. My lawyer recovered most of the savings because the transfers had gone into an account Lena controlled, not some mysterious investment. She tried to argue I had been emotionally distant, but the recording, bank records, and her own texts made things simple. Ryan apologized for not telling me sooner, and I forgave him because he had stood up when it mattered. Months later, Monica emailed me personally to say Lena and Adrian were no longer with the company. I didn't celebrate. I just felt the quiet relief of finally breathing again. I moved into a smaller apartment with cheap blinds, a second-hand dining table, and no one laughing at me across it. Every Sunday, I still make spreadsheets, but now they feel like freedom instead of fear. People ask if I hate Lena. I don't. Hate keeps you tied to someone who already took enough. What I learned is simple. Betrayal doesn't always arrive with shouting. Sometimes it wears a perfect dress, raises a glass, and calls you pathetic in front of everyone. But truth has a way of entering the room last, and leaving with all the power.